All right, welcome to the Breakwater's podcast. Got a special guest who's my athletic director at St. Joseph's. You got Mr. James Lally. How you doing?
I'm doing good, George. I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you again. I'm glad to see you doing this, and excited to join you today to talk some sports.
Of course. You want to tell me about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, as George mentioned, used to work over at St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn, the Bears. Was the athletic director there for about 3 years. Before that, grew up on Long Island. Played sports my whole life. Played at Archbishop Malloy High School. I know it was one of George's, high school rivals over there, Zavarian, right, George?
Yeah,
Right, if I remember right.
sure.
Okay.
Sure, you got it.
Yeah, so played there, then played some baseball over at St. John's, coached a little bit out at Hofstra, did the athletic department thing over there as well, administration wise, and then landed over at St. Joe's. So that's when George and I crossed paths and worked together. When he was running and pretty much doing everything. First guy in the weight room, last one to leave every day. And cross paths over there. And actually now I from a full-time standpoint, stepped away from athletics and, took a role with career services back at my alma mater at St. John's and trying to help, position students for success. But sports is always, in the back of my mind and always in the front of my heart. And it's something I stay in touch with and, still training players on the side and following all the teams that, have some relationships with. So, never haven't gone too far.
I said thank you for great words. I appreciate it. Mr. I also hooked me up with the Dillon Center jobs. I always tell my friends the best job I ever had. I was a freshman when I saw you, and I didn't know anybody. So when I was with the kid, there's always like they're my friends. So that's what I grew up to. Just be myself and go from there. So it's always they made me who I am today. They made me the person I am to open up, and they were my first friends. So I was like, when it didn't happen anymore, I was like, oh man, I missed the Dillon Center, I missed the kid. So,
yeah, that was a good little program we had put together over there. I think everybody that was involved with it really appreciated it, and it was all smiles all the time. So that was something special for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, my friends, they're my first friends in St. Joe. So you always gotta mention them. So
absolutely.
so you did the Dillon Center, St. Joe's athletic director. How's that?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of the grunt work, the behind the scenes work, but we had a great team of staff over there. Anthony, Oscar, and Dan, and Hope, and Kayla, and Alex, and all those names from all the different departments, the athletic department, to all the coaches and the student athletes. It was fun to work all day to try to give you all what you needed to compete and to go out and represent, St. Joe's. And it's why we did it. It wasn't about the wins and the losses or whatnot. It was just about watching, doing what we needed to do for you all to compete. So whether it was, balancing budgets or coming up with schedules or putting gas in buses or whatever it might be, it was a grind, but it was enjoy. That broke my heart when I stepped away from that role. It really did, and such an appreciative group of student athletes from every team over there. And it was just a pleasure to be a part of that for the time that I was there.
It's great to have you. I miss you. It's not the same without you, for sure.
It's always change, right? Always change. But, Margaret over there and I, touch base every once in a while. I know she's, working as hard as she possibly can again to keep things going over there. And she's going to take it to new heights. I have no doubt about it. She's phenomenal, great reputation in the industry. And dealing with COVID, I don't envy her right now, and all the coaches and student athletes out there trying to figure this whole thing out. But the fact that the ship's heading in the right direction, given all that's been going on, I give her all the credit in the world. I think it's a true testament to how qualified she is.
That's for sure. I know when I was there, I only saw you for 1 year, but was there any team that was like winning when I before I came, or was like a team that you liked seeing, like a favorite team at St. Joe's that you liked?
That's a tough question there, but they were all, obviously, you enjoy going to all the games, from tennis games to cross country meets to basketball games. obviously it was tough to, it's tough to emulate the excitement that you'll see in the Hill Center for, a big basketball game. And, the student athletes on those teams certainly thrived off of that. And women's soccer and men's soccer were both booming at that time. And, that's two programs that, the men's soccer had a little bit more history. Women's soccer was, relatively new. Just coming into their own. But what the coaches were able to do back then and position them to where they were by the time I got there was remarkable. So those were two really exciting programs. And then obviously we brought in some new coaches and Mr. Goldberg that I know used to run around, Clinton Hill with the whole cross country teams. Brought some energy to that program. And, across the board, it was just, there was a lot of excitement because, again, relatively young, right? I mean, the St. Joseph's was only NCAA since, I believe, 2014 and had a long history of a couple of teams before that. But for the most part, a lot of it was, less than a decade old. So comparatively, that's very young. So it was an exciting time to be a part of programs that were really growing and developing.
Now you're at St. John's, director of, like you said, employer relations. So you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, sure. So my role over here, obviously our career services staff is large, like any institution our size. And we have professionals who work with the students on a daily basis, from, getting resumes ready and targeting certain internship opportunities and how to interview and all of that. And then my side of the department focuses on the relationships between the university and the employers who have the job opportunities and the internship. So I kind of help manage those relationships for a wide variety of industries, from technology to PR and marketing and advertising to, criminal justice and homeland security. And then finally, obviously, my big passion, those in the sports industry. So, we've had some really great connections made over the years that are, proving very valuable to our students as they look for career opportunities. And my job is to make sure those opportunities keep coming in and the relationship stays strong. And we keep, the output of St. John's students is always going to be quality. We know that. And, just making sure that the opportunities are there for them. And, with COVID, obviously, it was a little bit difficult, specifically in sport management. We also saw it on the hospitality side as well. But things are slowly creeping back to normal, and it's great to see teams competing again. It's great to see we had a huge basketball game on campus here Tuesday night against, we hosted Providence, played them right down to the wire. The place was packed. So it feels good to see things like that. And, campus life is a little bit different than it was before, but at least we do have, everybody's here and everybody's enjoying the time on campus that you almost take for granted, until something like this happens, and makes you really appreciate how nice it is to go to your office and to go to class, to talk to your professors after class and things like that. So we're all enjoying the position we're in this semester, and hopefully things will get back to real normal, in the very near future.
Of course, yeah, 100%. And you're also a adjunct professor of effective business writing, public speaking. Sounds pretty cool.
It's fun. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was, that's one, I think I don't care if you're 18 or 50. I think everybody needs a refresher on those topics every once in a while, from, how to write, how to express yourself, how to communicate effectively. So when that opportunity popped up, it was something I jumped at. And, a great group of students that I've been very fortunate to have engaging students so far in any of the sessions that I've taught, the sections that I've taught. And I'm enjoying that. I think it really does tie into what I appreciate so much about my role, which is helping students figure out open doors for career opportunities. It's all right. You have to have the communication skills and the writing skills to be able to do a good job in these roles, right? To have successful careers and to get through interviews and represent yourself well. So there's definitely a lot of correlation between those classes and what I do from 9 to 5. So it's a nice combination I have, been fortunate to be exposed to over here.
And also my friend goes to St. John's, my friend Adam, he said he knows Shamari Pond was in his class. So athletes, have you met any athletes recently, or do you know?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're We do a lot of work with that population. Our office does, and it's a group of students about 350 strong, and you know their schedules are crazy, and you want to make sure you give them the services that every other student here has, and opportunities to speak to employers who are maybe coming to campus at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but typically a student athlete is not free at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? They're at practice or they're, on the road. So just making sure those students have everything that they need to be successful. And we have a great group over here. Obviously, they're all very motivated and hungry in their sports. But so many of them are actively engaged with our office and saying, okay, how can I take my athletic skills and experiences and express them on a resume for when the time comes where I'm going to need to find employment, whether it's after my pro career or in place of a pro career. So, we see them around all the time. Great group. Having played baseball here for the current head coach and the current pitching coach was a former teammate of mine. So that's a sport that I'm heavily involved with from an alumni standpoint. Great group of guys there chomping at the bit to get a season in this year and head.
So you mentioned baseball. You're a big Mets fan. You must be excited with all the moves they're doing. What's your take on the Mets?
It's finally good to be a Met fan, right? I mean, we've been waiting for a long time to be able to say that, but it finally feels good to be a Met fan. And I think that 1-2 combo went healthy, knock on wood. Obviously LA's had some strong rotations over the years, but I think that might trump. I think a Scherzer DeGrom healthy combination is going to trump what we saw out there in LA, and in my opinion might be one of the best 1-2 combos since Maddox and Glavine back in the day. So offense is what happens on that side of the ball, but defense, I think they'll be fine, and obviously the pitching is gonna get everybody excited, no matter how much you think baseball is a power game nowadays and putting up 10 runs a game or whatnot. If you're a Mets fan and you see that 1-2 combo, you've got to kind of rethink how you want this sport being played right now, and see if we can put the pieces together and win some nice 3-1 ball games throughout the year and just be happy with that. So
for sure, it's a great 1-2 combo. You guys got Marcana, like he plays everywhere. Also starring Martin center field. You guys did a lot. Eduardo Escobar, I think he might be the third baseman. So you guys got a nice little squad over there.
Yeah, for sure. And the holes that they've had over the last 2 years or so has been solidly plugged with people that were very unexpected, right? And you almost forget that they're holes, but then when you see these names go out and you see Cohen go out and grab these guys, obviously Manaya's got a big piece of this too, but they're not going to be content with just signing. Obviously, they weren't with signing a big name pitcher and then packing it in. They went out. They upgraded at probably 50% of their position. So it's as I said before, it's finally a good time to be a Met fan. But we'll see when April.
We're gonna go to everyone's favorite round here, the quick fire round. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Favorite TV show?
All time or current?
You can give me both.
All right, Seinfeld, no question. Not even a debate. Seinfeld, no question. But current one would be Ted Lasso.
That's a Seinfeld I'm watching right now. Really, really good show. I haven't finished it, so don't spoil
Great
it.
show. It's timeless. It's absolutely timeless. And Ted Lasso's got me. That one's got me right now. That's a good one.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie would be The Sandlot.
Nice. I like The Sandlot too. It's our house. It's our staple in our house. All of us love Sandlot. It's our favorite. All of our favorite movies.
That's a good one for sure. Yeah.
Favorite cereal?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Nice. Favorite ice cream, and what would you put on it?
I got to stick it nice and easy with chocolate, and I would just do rainbow sprinkles. And my kids love doing, and I never did this as a kid, but they love we bought these like mini Hershey Kisses, like really, really mini, and they put them all over the top. So that's what I'm going to do. Chocolate ice cream, rainbow sprinkles with mini Hershey Kisses on top.
Nice. That's a good call.
Now I want it right now, George. Come on. I want it right now. Can't wait to get home. I don't care if it's ice cream night with the kids. We're going to do it now after this. Yeah.
Favorite athlete of all time?
Michael Jordan.
Nice. Favorite
Michael
team?
Jordan.
Favorite team of all time?
Mets, and I wish I had a better memory of it, but I mean, back in the 2010 time, I think was a great time to be a Met fan in that era. But the '86 Mets is a team that I don't really have a memory of. I'll kind of age myself there. But just hearing about that team, I don't know if they were the most reputable, upstanding people in the sport of baseball, but that would have been one that I definitely would have enjoyed watching them compete for sure.
Yeah, I saw the documentary. It was awesome.
Fantastic, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic, yeah.
You're a Mets fan. What other teams do you like?
I do like the Knicks. They're Grimes, I think, was a really nice pickup this year. As much as they might be struggling right now, there's a couple of things. Barrett's really coming into his own, and Mitchell Robinson's having a tear of the last 2 weeks, and there's things to be excited about there. Although across the board, we definitely expected to be in a different position this year. But Knicks, Nets, I wish I got into hockey more. Every time I watch a game, I'm so hooked into it, and I say every time I gotta watch the sport more. It's fantastic. And then just life happens, right? But outside of baseball, MLB, I would say college basketball is my favorite thing to watch. And with that, there's only one team for me, and that's St. John's. And
Football. Who you like, NFL or no?
Growing up, I didn't have it. I just didn't have it. We didn't play it growing up. My high school didn't have it. When I got to St. John's, we didn't have it. I got to Hofstra, we didn't have it. I got to St. Joe's, we didn't have it. So it was like everywhere I went, I just was never really exposed to football. And I think that kind of hindered my, getting really behind it. So I got to say, if I've watched 15 minutes of football this year, that would probably be a lot. The only thing I will say I did watch, and I couldn't ignore it. I got so many text messages about it, and all of them said the same thing. Look, we know you don't watch football, but you have to turn on this Bills Chiefs game right now. So I did catch the last maybe minute of regulation and then overtime. And, obviously I appreciate and respect the heck out of those players. And I think they may be the best athletes in the world. But just not growing up with it as a big sport that we played, I think just kind of really didn't develop into a passion like I did the others. But, I got enough sports to watch right now, especially during college hoop season and MLB coming up in less than 2 months or right around that. There's a lot of sports on in my house for sure.
Of course. So, yeah.
It was really my first time since I was probably 15, maybe even earlier, that I haven't been a part of competitive athletics. And as much as I miss it, and I do with all my heart, it is nice to be just the fan and to just watch the sports and just, appreciate it. And, obviously I follow the St. Joe's athletic department. I'm on that website. It's one of my favorites on my tab, and, checking into it 3 times a week to see how they're doing. I wish I could get to some games, but obviously with COVID, it's not in the cards right now, but it is very different to be a spectator and to just, not be living or dying by every game and every win and every loss and whatnot. But the competitiveness is still there. But I do have to say there's a lot more times in the day where my heart stopped racing out of my chest now than ever before, when I just kind of get to take that step back and enjoy it for what it is.
Of course, yeah. One of my favorite part of the Super Bowl is the commercials. My teachers in my high school I just watch it for the commercials. Our next question is, what's your favorite commercial? My favorite commercial?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. I love this progressive commercials with new homeowners turning into their parents. I mean, they make me laugh out loud. And there's 2 that really get me, but the one with when he brings them all to the NFL game and they're in the parking lot talking about parking. I mean, it's just, and as I get older, and as I engage with more people, and as even some people my age, you start to notice certain tendencies. It's just, I think they knock those things out of the park. I think they are absolutely spot on, and they make me laugh out loud. I could watch it 5 times in 5 commercial breaks, and I'm still going to laugh each time I see that commercial. So, yeah, I'd say that one is, for now, that one's got me for sure.
Coffee or tea in the morning?
Nothing. I've never had a sip of tea in my life, and I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. I've sipped it. But nothing. I drink Crystal Light pink lemonade, raspberry lemonade, and pink lemonade. And other than that, I drink water. That's it. I might have a diet soda every once in a while if I need a little pick me up, but no coffee, no tea for me whatsoever.
Awesome. I'm a big tea guy. That's my thing. I was hoping you're
Okay.
gonna say tea.
Sorry to disappoint, but no, can't lie to you, George.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
certain legend in St. John's. His name's the Birdman. Do you know him?
I know of a Birdman at St. John's. Back in the day, one of our guys that was with us on the baseball program, that was his name back in the day. But the one you're talking about, I highly doubt you're talking about the same one. So I'll ask, which Birdman are you talking about? Who are we talking about here?
It's one of my Greek friends. I thought you know him. It's a
No, I
stable.
can't.
It's a stable. All the people from St. John's always ask them this question, so it's always pops up. So
I gotta keep my ear closer to the ground as I'm walking around. But I started right before COVID, right? So it hasn't really the campus life. I haven't been as engrossed as I could, but I will, and I'm sure I'll cross paths with my second Birdman on this campus.
that's a good one, yeah, for sure. And gonna wrap this off with everyone's favorite question. Are you ready?
I don't know if it's everyone's favorite. That's a lot of pressure, I think. But yeah, let's go with it. Let's see what happens.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush would have to be Jana Kramer, the country singer and semi actress, I think now in these days. But and my wife was well aware of that, so it's not like she'd be seeing this and that would be shocking to her whatsoever. So yeah, Jana Kramer. Yeah,
that's awesome. I also have a trivia question. I think you're gonna get this, but I have to ask.
Okay.
Basketball legend. He went to my high school, played for St. John's. Do you know him? Do you know who he is?
Is his name Chris Mullen by any chance?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I knew you were
Chris Mullen. And so when I was at Malloy, we used to play Zavarian obviously all the time. And there was a big man on the team named Chris Taft who played at Pittsburgh, who played in the league for a little bit. And Mullen's brother, Chris's brother, I don't know which one it was because obviously he's got several, but he was the coach back then. And obviously Chris, I had Chris Mullen when I was a kid, had St. John's jersey, but it didn't have a name or number in the back. So I put number 17 on, which was him, but I put my name. So I was like, I'm going to be the next Chris Mullen, even though I'm going to be righty. But and my mother still has that jersey in a bin in her attic, number 17, his number, but with my name on the back of it. So yeah.
I went to his first coaching game at St. John's. I was like, they gave me they're selling the Chris Mullen jerseys.
Oh, nice.
Number 20, and I have it. 20 is my favorite.
20.
Number.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 17. It was 20, obviously, back in the day. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's great.
That's my dad's favorite pair. That's why I was number 20. Everything. My basketball number was number 20, and it was just passed on from generation to generation.
Love hearing how that stuff starts, right? It gets embedded in traditions, right? That's what sports is so special about, those traditions. So,
anything to wrap off with?
Okay, I think it's great that you're doing this, man. It's awesome, and like I said before, I love all the sports you got going on behind you. It looks like that's quite the collection you've gathered over the years, and happy to be a part of this, and happy to talk sports, talk shop, and like I said, it was although it was a short time we were together, it was you made a lasting impression with that work ethic you had, and your passion for everything you did, and to see you doing something like this right now for me is really cool, and I'm not surprised at all. So. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you having me, and looking forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime. Yeah, definitely stay in touch. And great. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And it was a great you being in campus at St. Joseph's was great. Great being the athletic director. You're awesome. And where could people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. That's probably my best spot. Is just James Lally on LinkedIn. I'm not really a social media person, but I am on that. So if anybody wants to connect, feel free to reach out. Or if you are a St. John's student out there, or somebody who works on campus or whatnot, I'm over in the library. So feel free. Always love connecting with new people. So
that's awesome. What's your Instagram? So we could put it in the.
I don't even think I have one. I had I do some real estate on the side, and the real estate company I work for made me an Instagram and a Facebook, but I have to be honest, I don't know what they are. I don't know what the handles are. I know what the login and the password are, but I don't know what the handles are, and I don't know how to post or anything like that. So I can figure out Facebook, but Instagram, I have zero clue how to post something. So somebody, if you see any posts, if you do find me out there and you see some action on my pages, somebody helped me with that, and I'll leave it at that. But if you want to actually engage with me, no doubt LinkedIn is going to be your best bet for first connection there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Mr.
Yeah.
Lally, thank you again for coming on. Always a pleasure, and see you in a splash.